Hey folks, this is Nick Hawks with Paleo Treats. I'm going to talk a little bit today about keto. Right? We are hearing a bunch of people are coming in the door here at Paleo Treats, or coming to the chat on our website, or sending me emails, reaching out in whatever way and asking, hey, what's going on with keto? Which one of your treats is keto? What can I do? How do I do this thing? So I thought I'd put together a short piece just to give you some perspective and maybe a different way to look at this idea of a ketonic diet, or going into ketosis, right? So ketosis in general is this idea that most people burn the majority of they get the majority of their energy from carbohydrates, from carbs, and they should switch over to ketones, which are a cleaner burning fuel that our body produces mostly from fats. When you do this, when you burn ketones, the usual reported results are, oh, I think clearer, I feel better, I decreased inflammation, like my life went magical, right? So all the same things that you hear from pretty much any diet including paleo, right? So what we think of here, just for the perspective idea, not to teach you what keto is, because you probably know if you're watching this, is think about keto as being a tool that you use to accomplish a certain task in a finite amount of time, right? So if you want to fix some malady, if you want to explore performing on ketones, by performing, I'm talking about physical performance, so maybe a long run, maybe a cycle, whatever your athletic flavor is doing that. If you want to try that out and use it for a certain amount of time, that's an excellent use of keto, right? I'm going to lose some weight, I'm going to fix a malady. So let's just say weight loss, like maybe disease management, or performance. Okay, those are all really good things to use keto for. I don't think that using keto as a lifestyle, right? So this is all kind of yes, but a lifestyle in the long term in America, fully enjoying everything that's out there, I'm going to say it's not going to work, or it's going to be really difficult. You're setting yourself up for failure, right? Because once you go this lifestyle route, you're saying, I'm never going to have high carb stuff. So if you have a pizza, right, or you have a paleo treat, or you have an ice cream, or you have whatever it is, a huge bowl of mashed potatoes, or any kind of meal at any friend's house, pretty much ever, you're going to get knocked off this ketotic state, this state of ketosis, and you're going to feel like a failure. You're not going to be super happy with yourself, or you're going to feel like garbage, because it does take a little while to get back into carbs, and then it does take a while to get back into ketosis once you've gone to carbs. So you're in this constant kind of swinging, unpleasant feeling, unpleasant state. So before you say, oh, I'm going fully ketonic for my lifestyle, think about how you should use the keto diet. All right, these three things, excellent uses of it. They're finite amounts of time. Weight loss, let's say you decide if you go keto for a year and you don't lose all the weight you can lose, you're not doing it right. Disease management, if you go keto for a year, 6 months, and it doesn't totally change the way that you live and feel, I think you're not getting it quite right. And then performance, if you explore it, some people do really well on it. It definitely needs a lot more tweaking than the other two, specifically for really high intensity pieces. But it can be done, and you can definitely look into two guys, Barry Murray. I'll write his name down. And Peter Defty. So if you want to explore keto for performance, look into those two guys. For disease management, weight loss, check out the internet. Those two guys are excellent for performance. But for a lifestyle, I'm just going to give you my experience with it, or my kind of cautionary piece is I just don't think it is sustainable in the longer term. So excellent use, 6 months to a year, perfect. But just think about before you go crazy on it, about dedicating your whole life to it. Now, one of the reasons for that is that once you go with a keto lifestyle, you start to have to sub out, most people will sub out different ingredients to try and mimic their old diet. And this goes back to the same thing that we see over and over with paleo. And that is people try and make basically the standard American diet paleo. So they want their paleo pancakes, they want their paleo pizza, they want their paleo ice cream, they want their paleo desserts, right? I mean, that's one of the things that we do is try and make it easy to move a little bit down that path. But when you go keto, you expose yourself to having to use or being tempted to use some pretty noxious ingredients or ingredients that I've seen don't work very well for many people. And those are what we think of the sneaky sugars. So erythritol, stevia, xylitol. Okay, these things, experiment with them, see if they work for you. I would say don't be surprised when they don't. What are the two big problems that we've seen with paleo treats? Because believe me, we've tried to use these things, we've experimented with them, is the two big issues, all right? They are, number one, gut problems, okay? We've seen when using these things, which you pretty much have to use as soon as you go keto, and you realize, like, holy smokes, I'm never gonna have anything sweet. Most people can't handle that. They still wanna have something sweet. They don't wanna commit fully to the kind of intensity of a true keto diet. So they start to sub these things in. They have gut problems, which is one of the reasons many people go keto. So if you're keto and you're doing this stuff and you're making your keto chocolate chip cookies and you have this, think about maybe removing those things. And then the second part, all right, and this is more of an Epicurean thing, is the taste, right? These things, they don't taste like sugar. They're sweet, 100% agree. All three of them have a fairly nasty aftertaste, for me at least, and I'm like a human garbage disposal machine. I'll eat pretty much anything, but you'll hit those two things. So when you start going keto, I mean, we went down the path a little bit and definitely veered into sweets and desserts, but hey, we're paleo treats. Think about if you see these two problems come up, this is probably why, and that's why this thing is not sustainable. So if you think of having a sustainable lifestyle, that's going to include, at least as an American, a couple meals a day, right? We talked about how many meals a day to have, and then occasional room for treats, for desserts, for sweet stuff, right? That's part of the luxury of living in this time, this day and age, is that we can have those things when we want. But if you set yourself up to have to eat basically poison when you have those things, I think it's a pretty difficult thing to sustain long term. So those are my thoughts on keto. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm not saying never use it. I'm not saying it's a rotten thing. I think it's an excellent diet to explore when you are looking for a specific accomplishment, a specific goal to achieve. But outside of that, just kind of be careful and think about what you're doing with it and where you want to go with it. All right, that's what we got for now. Thanks so much for watching. Ciao, ciao.